Hey guys, welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. I'm Ron Mackenzie Lafergie. I think at this point most people agree that Black Panther is pretty darn awesome. He's a cool hero with a great backstory and has some wonderfully unique qualities, but he ain't perfect, and T'Challa has a number of weaknesses that can be exploited. He doesn't actually have a ton of legit weaknesses, so I'll have to get a bit creative for a few of these, but I think they all check out. If you finish this and want more, check out our video on the alternate versions of Iron Man next, but first get ready, it's time for the top 10 Black Panther weaknesses. Number 10. Limited superpowers. Black Panther is certainly not without superpowers, but the abilities gained from the herb only enhance him past human ability. They don't make him unbeatable. He can lift up to 800 pounds, he can run pretty darn quickly, and his senses are insane, but he isn't nearly as invulnerable as someone like Superman, or Thor if you want to keep this Marvel. So if he was trying to fight cosmic level baddies without help from allies, gadgets, or infinity gauntlets, he'd very likely be done for. Number 9. Reliance on the suit for most heroics. While it's true that Black Panther went many years without his suit woven with vibranium, nowadays it's a staple of his heroics. Lets him fight against high-powered baddies or even just people with guns without having to worry too much. And vibranium claws are pretty darn useful as well. But if he doesn't have a suit on, even though he still has his superhuman abilities, he's very vulnerable to gunshots and the like. Now, luckily, he has plenty of plot armor to keep him safe, and plot armor can go a long way. Isn't that right, Black Widow? Number 8. He's distrustful. One thing that tends to hamper T'Challa's ability to work on a team is his rather deep distrust of others. Having gone through a number of personal tragedies and having been forced to fight past allies, it isn't super surprising that he'd keep his cards close to the chest. But it's hard to support someone if they barely trust you at all. This hasn't stopped him from being a strong member of several teams, but it's definitely caused some strife and unnecessary danger since team cohesion tends to go down when one member doesn't trust the others. Number 7. Daddy issues. Like most characters in the MCU, particularly the dudes, T'Challa has some pretty wicked daddy issues. This was touched on in the recent film and is also a theme in the comics. In the comics, his dad died when T'Challa was just a boy, while in Civil War he was an adult, but the death left him feeling incredibly alone in both cases. Plus, he had to struggle with the decisions his father made, both good and bad. T'Challa eventually works through this, stepping out from his father's shadow to become his own man, but it remains something of a soft spot for him. Number 6. Overconfidence. Oops, did I say overconfidence? I meant ridiculous arrogance. Seriously, I get that he's a king and everything, but Black Panther is way cockier and more arrogant than most villains we see. At least in the comics, they kinda niced him up a bit for the movie, understandably. Arrogance is one of my least favorite traits, and it tends to add tension between him and other heroes, particularly others with similar egos. Number 5. Lack of magical protection. While his Black Panther durability and the vibranium in his suit allow him to tank some pretty powerful physical attacks, Black Panther has no magical resistance that I'm aware of. Maybe the herb has something, but I don't know about it. If you saw our video on Black Panther's powers, you'll know that he can resist telepathy, but most other forms of magical and elemental powers can do serious damage to him. And since he generally needs to be close range to fight, long range magic users can make him pretty useless. Number 4. The family jewels. No, I'm not talking about his inheritance. T'Challa is a man, and as a man he has one big weakness. And by that I mean 2 small dangly weaknesses. One superpowered smack to the nards, and I don't care how disciplined he is, he's gonna need a breather. Is this a stretch and only included because I was running out of ideas? You bet your butt it is, but it's true. Number 3. He's hot-headed. Black Panther is extremely smart. He's a genius inventor and tactician, able to think incredibly quickly on the fly. However, if he gets upset, he's been known to fly off the rails, despite his normally strong mental discipline, which has caused him to make mistakes where he shouldn't have. He's also fiercely nationalistic, willing to do pretty much anything to defend Wakanda, which often gets him into hot water. Number 2. He's a good guy. This is one weakness shared by most superheroes, and it's part of why I tend to prefer anti-heroes, as superheroes tend to be held to strict moral systems. This is one reason the villains would almost always win in real life. If you don't care about causing needless death, you have a huge advantage over someone who does. And T'Challa, like most superheroes, is hamstrung by this reluctance to allow innocents to die, allowing his moral code to be abused by villains. He definitely isn't as strict as some heroes since he kills more than some others, but he's still bound by way more rules than most villains. Number 1. Sensitivity to strong stimuli. This is the only actual weakness listed in the wiki, which made my job pretty tricky for this list, but this one is totally intuitive. Since his senses are enhanced, loud noises and bright lights can severely disorient him, and strong scents can throw him off a trail. This also means he's sensitive to taste, which makes me so badly want to give him Bertie Bott's every flavored beans. That's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please smack that thumbs up button and subscribe to Top 10 Nerd for more videos. Let me know what other superheroes you'd like us to talk about in the comment section down below, and if you want a sweet playlist to watch so you can just chill out and let the nerdiness flow through you, check out our Top 10 alternate versions playlist on the channel. Until next time, I'm Ron Mackenzie LaFerzi with Top 10 Nerd. Later, nerds.